Are you too busy to figure out your problems? It's Pointed Questions with Jen and Nick.
Some call her the largest darts content creator in North America. Others would say she's a driving force behind a leading brand in the industry. I just call her a neurotic psycho who can hyperfixate past the end of the world around her. It's Jen Mounts.
Thank you for that lovely introduction, Nick. I must pay it forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, joining me is Mr. Nick Teixeira, the only man in darts to expense $1,000 in Wingstop and somehow blame me for it.
Yeah, leave it to the man to blame a woman for his errors. That's what I'm here for. And welcome, everybody. It's Pointed Questions, episode 2. We're your lovely hosts. We're just two fruits talking about some darts. And we got a lot of darts stuff to talk about today. We got a little bit of an open topic discussion here where Jen's going to talk about getting back into commentary for a little bit in the cursed Nebraska plague. I'm going to mention my experience playing Steel Tip over in Jacksonville and a continuation on our drinking conversation. We also have the produce report talking about some Facebook posts that we've seen online in the darts world, giving our feedback on current events. Then we have the pointed picks. We're going to be drafting some top 5 lists, including some of the best dart players in the U.S. And then finally, our pointed question of the psych. We also have a third segment today, a little special one, plot or not, where Jen's going to go ahead and rant about a movie, and then I have to watch it by the next episode. And then the pointed question, of course, we're going to answer, does apparel really matter in darts? Jen, we're back. We made it. We didn't get canceled after one episode, and I'm still not fired.
You're still not in jail, which is the most impressive thing. Not fired, but you are a contractor. So I think that's the funny thing is, like, I knew there would be one comment like, I would have fired him immediately. And I was going to respond like, he's a contractor. It's kind of a moot point. We're long gone from then, but anyway, yes, I was in Omaha last weekend. The only bad thing from that weekend is I caught some super Nebraska corn plague, and I've been sick for like 9 days. Finally got my voice back just in time to do this podcast. No, but it was a really good weekend of darts, Bullshooter Regional. I definitely felt like I was going to be super rusty with the chops and the comms, but it ended up being great. I mean, we flow like butter, so it's just it was expected to go well. Yeah, like a river, like, you know, like a lobster, and like a butter. Yeah, what do you mean? Butter flows.
Butter does not flow. I've never been like, oh, let me go ahead and swim in the fatty river of cow lard. What are we talking about here? This is the flow.
Agree to disagree.
This is the flow.
This is the so-called flow I'm bragging about right now.
This is
no. We had a good thing going until you gaslit me on live air because I mistook Brandon Neal for John Edwards, and that was like the running thing, which thank goodness the players themselves are such great sports, and like we laughed about it all weekend long. Hashtag the real drip king, John Edwards. He's so excited to tell his daughters, or does he have daughters? His children, his offspring. He was excited for that upgrade.
the little minions that are circling around him there.
Yeah. But enough about me. I am curious, Nick. You played a full weekend of darts.
I have questions about you.
What? What do you want to know?
So, okay, you didn't commentate for like 8 years, like other than like handfuls of random CSCs and random like one-off occasions, and you know, filling in at TOC. I mean, truly, what was your actual expectation of it?
Well, I fully expected to be left alone on the mic way more than you did. You only had a couple of like quick scares of trying to figure out a technical issue. I think that was probably my only concern, but ended up being fine because the Nebraska talent and everyone that traveled in to the Omaha regional stop, I mean, it was great darts. It made my job easy. I went and schmoozed around and kind of like played around with the players a little bit and got to know them. So it was kind of easy to commentate on their style and strategy, and I found it to be really fun, especially after day one. I had no residual anxiety around that, but yeah, I've never intentionally wanted to do commentary as my first choice. I've always been begged to come in and replace someone that couldn't make it that day, or even the CDC. I was supposed to be a graphic designer exclusively, and they needed me to just fill in that void. And so from the very beginning, I've been an accidental commentator, and that past weekend, I felt like it was a legit hire. I came in, I tried to study up a little bit on the locals, and I think I
Diversity
did a
hire.
decent job.
Let's be completely honest here. It is just a bunch of white dudes. That is all that our
Wow.
commentary crew has been. We needed to get our metrics different.
Fair take, because I am the ultimate diversity hire. We got ethnicity, gender, and sexual orientation. You guys nailed it. If I was in a wheelchair, it would have been
There's
perfect.
still time. There's still time. No, I mean, you know, it's annoying, right? Because I'm used to you being talented. That has been like the whole motif of knowing you as a human being. But then, like, to hear like commentary never sounded better. Assholes, I've been doing this for 4 years, almost 5 now, and now Jen just walks in there, she plops it on the table, and then leaves it all out there while calling Alex Feldman a good boy.
He was a good boy. He listened to me. I was calling for a 9-darter and he hit it. And I don't know what came over me, Nick.
9 mark, not 9-darter. You did not miss a 9-darter.
Oh, it was 9 mark.
Let's slow down.
If only. Almost a 9-dart attempt. I think we had one almost.
He get a drive in there.
Yeah. No, it was really funny. And I think of all players, I feel like Alex has a really good sense of humor. So I'm sure if he listened back to that, I'm sure he's not offended. But I was a little like, oh, I didn't actually mean to say that. Like, I thought it would be funny, but maybe that's going a little too far. But you're right. The chat had my back the whole weekend.
The whole time.
Everyone in the comment section, you guys were freaking rock stars. I love you. And I think I was like insta hired back for another tour. So you'll see me again soon.
So I love it when like the chat's in there and they're like, Jen, you're just so funny. Jen, you're so cool. Nick, stop committing crimes. Like, what is going on? Like, can we have a little bit of consistency here? That's what I'm saying. Like, I am 50% of pointed questions. 50%.
I mean, we did just start. This is episode 2. I feel like let's not get ahead of ourselves. We can't get too big for our britches.
We were out there, which is so funny.
Oh, if anything, we need to get out and play more. I'm proud of you. I mean, you hadn't played a proper weekend for a long, long time. You started off with drinking, but then you had this realization like, no, I'd rather play sober. So my question to you is, are you like me, where the more you put yourself out there and the more content that you make, the more that actually ends up exasperating your performance anxiety?
You know, it's funny, right? So performance anxiety for me started because of just not playing as much in person anymore, right? Just not being in those environments, not acclimated to it. But B, it was honestly more about being a commentator and a pseudo darts quote unquote expert. Like, I feel like my expertise is challenged by the lack of ability to back it up on the dartboard, right? That's where I feel the most pressure. In fact, actually playing on camera more has made me less nervous in the average environment, because I'm more nervous about hitting a good take on camera than I am just hitting a good shot in the moment. But I could tell you, this was definitely a come to Jesus kind of moment this weekend for me playing. I'll tell you, I went out there. I went to go play with my good friend Jasmine Clark in mixed doubles. We get there. It's only a 2-day event, Saturday, Sunday. I'm at the airport 8 p.m. Friday or 7 p.m. Friday landing, and I get a text. My partner and her partner can't make it. They're just not going to be able to make it this weekend for the doubles. So it's an open doubles and women's doubles. And we decided, well, let's just commit to all 4, right? So 2 mixed doubles, 2 open doubles. And I knew that she was in good form. Turns out she was. She got second place in women's cricket, missing match starts for first place. So clearly, as a mixed doubles team, that's the biggest commodity you could have, is the powerful female, right? And I just went into it, and I warmed up the whole couple weeks prior just fine, was playing again, felt like I was holding that 66 plus average pretty consistently, which is right where I expected to be. And I got out there, hand shaking, missing the board, and I tried to drink to compensate, and I had a terrible time. Like, actually a terrible time. Like, both doubles and the singles, I was just upset. Like, I wasn't like throwing a scene or doing anything like that, but I could tell you, like, I'm normally the one laughing and joking and having the most fun in the room. And I was like going in between matches, going outside and trying to hide around a corner. I was already pretty anxious just with mental health going into the weekend, regardless of the play, and then that made it worse. So I was like, you know what? I'm done drinking for tonight. I was talking with Jasmine, and she was like, your sober darts are perfectly fine. First off, second off, you're here to have a good time. Why do you care so much? So I was like, you know what? You're right. And I didn't drink the next day. Played even worse, for the record. Did not make it better. I, at one point on these standing Akis, missed the dartboard, not hitting the wood, below it to the wall behind. That is how bad my dart stroke was out there, Jen.
Oh my.
Atrocious. But I can tell you, I was having the most fun that day. Both those doubles. I wish I gave a bee's dick more performance because I could not provide much support there. But laughing and joking, it was a lot more fun. I ended up not playing singles, but instead we went out and played 2 EDC remote tournaments after. And by that point, I just wasn't nervous. I actually threw my soft tip average for the night at those events. And I was like, I think it was just a lot of exposure therapy. I think getting out of that in-person room and realizing that I legitimately had more fun losing sober than I did trying to win drunk.
Yeah, I think people like us, the exposure therapy piece needs to be so consistent. It's like if you play a full on weekend, by the end of that weekend, maybe you finally figured it out. But if you don't keep that up and you go these gap periods where we're doing all of our content, our normal jobs, and then you're not practicing at home, like you just have to go through all that over again. So I think that's the biggest lesson for myself of I deal with the same kind of anxieties that you do. I worry about outcome, even though I have absolutely nothing to prove or I'm not trying to win anything. It's always still there. I still always think like I have to do the best that I can possibly do. Like there's just something about my personality that won't allow me to only play for fun. So I think the biggest lesson for myself is as long as I throw darts every single day, even if it's for 2 minutes, I'm doing so good for my mentality. Like I need to keep that consistency so it never feels like this buildup leading up to it.
Yeah, the build up is the worst part, getting overamped, and then steel tip single elimination. Can I just say, so in this Jacksonville tournament, they did an excellent job. It's a small little tournament, right? But it was a decent little turnout too. They did a great job. Every bracket started pretty much on time and ran pretty fast, all things considered. If that's the case, if we're at the point where Dark Connect is innovating on these tournaments, single elimination, if you want to keep it, that's fine. But we don't need best of 3 single elimination. Regardless of how fast I lost, it was just one of those things where I'm like, this is just not value. You're not getting into a match rhythm at all or anything like that. Like, I think we need to start seriously considering just every tournament starting at a best of 5, unless it's truly a max out population tournament. Like, or ladder format. The finals also being best of 3 at the end doesn't make much sense. And organization did amazing. I'm talking about standard practice in general. This is just very common among steel tip events. I would love to see that further expanded on because I frankly think, well, what happens if we would have gotten a little bit more comfortable, right? What happens if I would have gotten a little bit more comfortable? Like, what would have happened there? But I'm just glad I had that realization and had that conversation. Had like a friend that's willing to call it out. I'm how many times, Jen, have you seen someone we know that is letting the intoxication make the decision more than anything else, and someone not really calling them out on it?
Yeah.
It happens.
I don't think there's a lot of behavior curbing in general. It's kind of a little bit on topic with some of the current events that are happening in the world right now. Is the culture changing? Do people carry themselves in a different way? Are we not holding new people accountable to conduct themselves in a way that the old guard is used to? And so a lot of interesting. What was that?
You're getting ahead of us. I'm excited. I'm getting excited.
I'm getting ramped up. I'm actually really excited to argue with you a bit because I think we might have different perspectives on this one. But that does lead us into our first segment.
Pause. One more thing. Sorry, I keep doing this to you, but I got to do this. I would like to shout out everyone who beat me this weekend. Roger Ramsey and Jim Richard, Aaron Campbell and Trish Leon, Rich Sturbins and Mark McLaughlin, Noel McCusker, Brandon Asado and Camilla Becker, and Art Schmidt and Kevin O'Connor. Pleasure to lose to all of you.
Oh, I expected that list to be twice as long, but that's a pretty good one.
Only played 5 events, Jen. 6 with the blind draw. Excuse me. I played 6 events. I lost 6 times. That's how long the list would be. Single elimination. But also just to that point, if I want anybody to have a takeaway from the alcohol and darts conversation we had last week and then this week, I truly do believe you'll be better off if you just take a break from it. Or again, if you happen to drink while playing is different than needing to drink to play. And that's the problem is I have won 2 different big, large money blind draw tournaments where the individual payouts were over $600 a piece. I've won 2 big events. I've won a couple of smaller blind draws as well. And I frankly don't like that I felt like I had to drink to be able to have that performance. So for me, this is going to be a learning opportunity this next year of, okay, well, let's see how long I can go and how far I can go while not using drinking as a vice. Because I only drink when I play darts. I don't even drink in my daily life, like almost at all. I mean, other than, maybe a fine cocktail at a fancy dinner on a special occasion type of thing, doesn't happen. That's my tea. That's it. That's all I got to say on that one. Final note, Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza, the card game, really fun to bring to dart tournaments.
Oh my gosh, I was just given that as a gift recently.
Were you? It's
Yeah, I almost brought it to Omaha. I almost said Oklahoma. Same thing, right?
Yeah, basically the same thing.
Sorry.
We'll round around.
Sorry.
No, you're not. You
Yeah, I
mean
almost
it.
brought
You
that to
meant
play
what you
with
said. It's
So
great.
yeah, we'll play another time.
Yeah, we'll get a game in. It's amazing. 10 out of 10 game.
I am excited for some current events though, Nick. So our first segment is the produce report, and easily the most viral Facebook post I would say that I've seen in a long time is from Chrissy Grimmel. And by viral, I just mean, it had over 300 shares, nearly 300 comments, almost 1,000 likes for a hot take with no photo, no video. I think that's kind of impressive for a text post. So essentially, that really resonated with a lot of OGs in the darts community, I think, even some young players. Nick, I know that you wanted to read a quick summary of it, and I'd love to get your overall thoughts. Do you agree? Who do you think is responsible for this supposed shift in attitude in darts?
Yeah, so here's most of the post. I took out just the first couple lines here just for brevity's sake, but here's the meat of the post. It says, a lot of us who've been around this game for years grew up on respect for the board, for your opponent, and the community as a whole. Win or lose, you shook hands, shared a laugh, maybe even bought a round. That's what made darts more than just a game. Lately, though, over the past 7 to 10 years, there's been a shift, and not a good one. Too many players are bringing an attitude that just doesn't sit right. Entitlement, arrogance, and flat-out disrespect. The I'm better than you mindset, walking around like they're untouchable, acting like they're taking a simple picture with a fan or another player is beneath them unless there's something in it for them. That's not what the sport is about. Darts has always been built on camaraderie and mutual respect. You earn your reputation not just with your throw, but with how you carry yourself. Skill will get you noticed, but character is what earns you respect. To newer and the ones that taught this generation, confidence is great. Pride in your game is earned, but don't forget the foundation of the sport was built on. Respect the people who came before you, respect your opponents, and remember, no one is bigger than the game, because when respect disappears, so does the heart of darts. Chrissy Grimmel, 2026.
What are your takeaways on that? Do you agree?
So before I say my actual take, I will say nothing but love and respect to Chrissy Grimmel. This is just a take on what she is saying, not a take on her, because that's my stepmom. First off, shout out Chrissy Grimmel. Shout out for putting up with my dad living with you for a while. Truly nothing but love in that regard. But I am going to comment a little bit on what she was saying in that post. So there's some things that reign especially true. And there's some things I think are a little bit, I guess, misappropriated and definitely pointed in a direction that I don't think is very fair to many players. For me, I think okay, yes, darts obviously is built on respect, and there should be intrinsic respect for you and your opponent one way or around. I think you consistently re-earn that respect and prove why you're worthy of it through how you carry yourself. That part I totally agree with. To argue that there's been a shift in the last 7 to 10 years, I think is a strong leap. Yes, I think that there is certain etiquette that has gotten worse because of online play. Online play has led people to be playing in isolated environments, and therefore they'll have the same level of cordial behavior that they would typically have by playing in the same dart rooms. But I would argue that what can sometimes be perceived as entitlement and arrogance is oftentimes confidence. Yeah, sure. People that don't want to take a photo with somebody when they have free time to, not cool. Totally fine there. Agreed. It's kind of a dick move. But what I'm not arguing is that. What I'm arguing is like this post to me reads that if you're a new player, you have to sit down and wait until one of the old guards says it's okay, it's your time to be like considered in that group. And that's how that reads to me. And I don't think that's what she
Okay.
necessarily meant, but that was the feeling I got. I know for a fact that I've seen new players come up very quickly, perform very well, and find some success. And I don't think there's anything wrong with, being confident, carrying yourself with that. And as long as you are being respectful towards your opponent, it's also okay to be a little cocky about it. Like, have fun. It's still a competitive sport, and competitive sport is driven on a little bit of ego. I think that when I hear about like newer players coming into this next generation of darts, that you have pride in your game is earned. I don't think that's a fair statement there. I think what's fair to say is it's prideful in your pride in your character is intrinsic. You should have a little bit of pride in yourself, but you shouldn't have total arrogance about how you perform and show it. And that's kind of where I get a little lost in this post.
I a little bit resonate with what you're saying in terms of that's why I ask, who is to blame? Is there actually a shift? Is it actually getting worse? Because you and I have been around a little while. I was a brand new player coming in 10 years ago. The old guard and the new guard were pretty awful to me. So that behavior existed 10 years ago, but is it worse now? I think maybe a little bit, but who's to blame? You mentioned online darts, so that certainly has an aspect of that anonymity. And we all know people, the way that they handle a loss is probably especially worse online. But Chrissy's more talking, she's avoiding physical tournaments because of this behavior. So if we focus in on only that, I'd like to play a little bit of devil's advocate on her behalf, because I think at its core, darts has always been very different from other super hyper competitive sports to me. It's certainly not just competition, it's a very unique community, not unlike the Harley Davidson community, for example. Once you buy a bike, you're in it. Like darts to me gives off that vibe. It gave me that vibe when I
Sure.
joined 10 years ago. And I do hear parts of what she's saying because, you don't just show up to win, you show up to belong. At least I did and
Mhm.
still do. That handshake, that post-match drink, I guess she's talking about, that quick, laugh after a really bad dart
Sure.
that doesn't hit the board. For me, I'm not sure exactly what the glue is that holds the entire culture of darts together, but I do know when people say they command respect, I don't think they're being super old-fashioned every single time. I think they're talking more about the identity of the game for them, and there has been a noticeable shift, I suppose, but is that shift simply a consequence of darts becoming a globally recognized sport over just a bar game? I'm not sure. When players act, totally unapproachable and dismiss fans or carry themselves like they're above the room, like, yes, of course, that chips away at the sense of connection that we're all longing for. And once that connection starts to fade, I think she just means the environment is changing pretty fast, too fast for her over the past decade. And there's certainly, but I think my biggest takeaway is that is a consequence of actually growing the sport into a super competitive scene and expecting people to give up um, their autonomy, to schmooze like every single player and be super chummy might be a little bit difficult as we ramp up the competitiveness of the sport. Not everyone has the capacity to handle that like you and I can. We're probably the best winners and losers out there where we're not going to have
Really
a
good at losing.
crazy reaction.
Just thanked my opponents on the
Yeah,
podcast.
excellent losers. I've been losing for 10 years. I dare you to find someone that thought I took that loss poorly, even remotely poorly. But I don't know. Do I expect that out of everyone? Again, with the hopes of darts growing to be this giant force, I'm not so sure.
I guess for me, I still think I just wonder what she's actually asking for here. She's saying that she wants respect. We know that much, right? And again, to this post, like in general, it's a good sentiment. I'm not trying to argue against that. I'm not even trying to argue against the post at all. But I
Mhm.
guess more so in general, like is there really as much of a problem as we are saying it is? Because I can tell you there's more opportunities now for more players of every level. So there's more. So the sport is actually growing in many different avenues. If you look at what she's talking about, like 7 to 10 years ago, and especially a little bit before that, but in the last 10 years, not only has online play gotten really big, but national organizations for online play, the local league and the travel league has gone down significantly. These smaller
Mm-hmm.
regional tournaments are starting to fold or combine into bigger ones. We're seeing
Mm-hmm.
a folding up of the dart space, and that's very clearly happening as more means to control big national sized bodies is becoming a thing. That's probably okay for a lot of the support, and has some very negative consequences to the local aspects of the game. When you had that local level, right? There was a clear ladder to climb. It was, you got to win your B League championship to go up to your A League. You got to win the Open to consider yourself in the same realm as your Kenny Doyles or whatever you want to call in your local area. You then got to go to do this well at NBA Team Dart. Like it felt like there was a longer progression of time spent to get your name out there and up the ladder. Now we see 4.0s, 5.0 shooters pop up overnight. We see talented females that have literally picked up the game in less than a year, go there and all of a sudden are now qualifying for big events and going there and upsetting people that have been qualifying and winning these events for years. We're seeing that more than ever. And so sometimes when I read something like this, it says you got to pay your dues a little bit more. And I think that that's not necessarily the case. I think that now it's different. I think there is a lot of solo driven nature in the sport with all the different opportunities to match up with different partners across and play in these remote events. And I think as long as you are still being respectful, that is still the correct takeaway. The post is still correct. That darts has been built on camaraderie and mutual respect. That is true. It's just like any other sport. I want to beat my opponent, but I still need to respect that they are sharing the field with me, right? You have to respect that. But at the same time, I really do think it kind of gives me a little bit of I almost want to say a gatekeep type of angle on the whole thing.
I think what's missing from the post is it's it's longing for an older time. It's sentimental. But what's the solution? Because clearly if the question is culture is not maintaining itself in darts, then who is showing them what respect looks like? Because if it's not being reinforced, then it's yes, that's going to disappear. Maybe not overnight, but certainly over time. So I suppose the problem is if you're asking for the game to not evolve, you know, or I think we're asking for the game to not evolve by longing for that older time. And you have to be willing to accept that culture is going to adapt to suit the more highly competitive environment if we want to grow the sport. And that's what supports my livelihood. My whole job is to get way more people excited about darts, us both. But my heart is with her, where I actually do also long for that older time where it wasn't as obnoxious, but I'm willing to accept that as a consequence for growth personally.
Yeah, I would just argue also though, with Facebook and social media being as popular as ever, it's just louder. I don't think that it's more of it. I don't think that there is more people saying these things. I think that it's just those same people that were saying things are not just saying it at the corner of their bar. I think that that definitely makes this feel worse. And to her point, there are some problematic players that just randomly
Mhm.
get like a pop up and then they think that they deserve a sponsorship or think because they have a sponsorship, they deserve certain level of treatment. I agree. Those are problem people. And I think that there's too many vanity sponsorships in this community that really is plaguing the minds of the, what I would call the semi pros, right? The people that could turn into pros, the people that clearly show that they can adapt well to the game, but then usually roadblock themselves by going there and saying, okay, I'm going to take this vanity sponsorship and be a shill and have this certain expectation. I've seen a dart player that is below a 5 NPR in soft tip that got good within 12 months.
Mhm.
Go post a GoFundMe to support them traveling aimlessly to tournaments. And I think that that's one of those things where I'm like, no, why is that a thing? Does a youth player that's like that's been playing for years raise money to go to Budapest? That's fine. That makes sense, right? That's a
Mhm.
specific goal and vision. But I see these players have this certain expectation, and those are the problematic characters, in my opinion. Did you drop something? What did you drop?
I did. I don't know. I don't know what. I promised you I wouldn't spill water this episode, and I've just like dropped a bunch of pens or something. Just now. Mic drop on your behalf.
I think in general, though, you're right. I think for me, I would feel better if there was a solution to the post rather than just saying this is how things used to be, because I think that's very disingenuous to the players that have entered the game in the last 10 years. I am one of the players that only started playing 10 years ago. I'm part of that same generation. And for me, I can tell you my experience and discounting when I got into broadcasting and things got a little bit different and players started acting a little differently, right? But when I was there actively playing for years, including playing with players like Chrissy Grimmel, nothing but in my experience, other than a handful of a singular, I can tell you, I had one or two bad experiences with pros that were around for 20 plus years prior to me even entering the game. But the actual people I interact with on a daily basis, including the people that got into the game with me, were always quick to shake my hand, always quick to have a conversation with me, and win or loss, things typically went well. I guess like maybe that's just my subjective experience, but I can tell you for a fact that I don't think it's any worse. I hear about these glory days. I hear about how it used to be, and I question to say, is it as good then, or is that rose tinted glasses?
I agree that it's so many other factors that are contributing to that missing like spirit of what local tournament play used to be like you've already articulated. And I don't blame anyone that doesn't want darts to like lose that welcoming communal feel where people show up and play and leave, with connection. She's certainly not wrong, like we keep trying to establish, and that is what made darts special in the first place. But I could almost argue the opposite. When I entered it was primarily existing players who I was supposedly meant to respect that were really cold and egotistical and just ridiculous, towards me. I remember someone accused me of like snubbing them, like I never acknowledged their existence, and I'm like, why would I? You're a complete stranger to me. I'm a young 20-year-old that is just showed up to Chicago to play an event, and it was the wife of a pro player, right? So I'm supposed to know who she is, and I'm just like, what is wrong with people? Like, kiss my ring, little newbie. It was just really insane, and those things happened a lot. I mean, I could name names if I wanted to, but so I feel a little bit of both. Like, yes, it's agitating when new young cocky people can't handle winning and losing. They don't have any decorum. They don't have integrity just yet. They're working on building their character. They're young human beings. But I also have 40, 50-year-olds that were just atrocious human beings towards me for just entering the sport without having any kind of rapport with them at all. It just started off negative. It's not that deep, as we keep saying. It's not that deep. It's crazy. But yes, my heart goes out to Chrissy. What a sweet woman, by the way. If I ever were to witness someone disrespecting her,
I'd
easily
kill him. I'll shoot him with a gun.
Without a doubt. Let's bury the bodies. Like, easy. Sweet woman, amazing player. Absolute shame she feels discouraged after decades of committing her life to this beautiful sport. I hate that she feels discouraged to not want to travel and play. So that does suck. And I want to find a solution. I do.
Yeah, well, I mean, driving force behind the game, a Mount Rushmore of female talents and truly a inspiration to an entire generation of dart players, right? I agree. It sucks that happens. And, I think, again, the solution really does come down to continuing to build multi-level opportunities, continuing to establish precedents of what behavior is okay or not. I'll say it point blank, that's a Will Stewart way of phrasing this. But I think the culture of this EDC style posting on social media, this sandbagger call out culture, this I need to voice my opinion very openly type of stuff is very detrimental. And there is a certain level of that now, right? And because of these online tournaments, I know vendors probably like Chrissy Grimmel are getting more pressure than ever because a board misregisters one time because they happen to be playing in $1,000 add-in tournament that was the 7th of the week. And I'm sure that absolutely also adds a level of entitlement that didn't exist there before from the local level player that when local leagues 10 years ago that didn't play in these online tournaments had way more coin drop versus these online tournaments where the entry fee is not going towards a local vendor and now they're getting yelled at because a bull misregistered after the board just got serviced. That type of stuff sucks. I think the answer to getting better, though, is continuing to reinforce positive behaviors and continuing to foster opportunities for the new players to have a safe space to play and to with handicapping. The one of the benefits of handicaps becoming a big thing, one of the benefits of leveled play and levels in general becoming big is that these old guard players need to take time to play with these new players, because I know for a fact that I've seen old guard players play with the same people for 30 years, right? You hear about them, they've been the partner forever. Frankly, if you're not taking these new people under their belt and they're only playing with other new people, of course the culture is going to change. That's just how that happens if you're not directly interjecting. So I would say take the
Yeah.
time to go and play with a newer player and go and coach them and go and show them. I can tell you, when I was a newer player, and I got a chance to play with players well above my level of expertise and play, I learned so much from them, including demeanor, etiquette, how to act, and everything else that I didn't know at the start of it, because it was my first time going into a competitive sport of any kind.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't have anything witty to say. I love that. I love that. You police bad behavior, you encourage good behavior, educate people, dispel ignorance about sponsorship. The egomaniacs will calm down a peg if you make them realize it's not that deep. It doesn't matter that much that you're so skilled. Those are the parts where I absolutely 1,000% agree with Chrissy. There's this like, gosh, there's just this concept of integrity, sportsmanship, character over skill, arrogance, killer instinct. I'm all about it. I do think that represents the heart of the game, and I love that. But I do think there's a little bit of misplaced attention and focus onto what is the culprit and why.
Mhm.
And Chrissy, we love you. And the more I think about it, you were one of the nicest people to me when I first started
Yeah,
playing. We had no relationship, no rapport, and you
same.
were really nice to me at Chicago Bullshooter, where I had probably my most emotional duress from playing darts was at that specific tournament for some reason. First big soft tip, but you were super sweet. So we're gonna figure this out for you. Don't you
Yeah.
worry, and we're gonna get you back at tournaments.
But can we just also say behaviors that are okay that might come off in certain ways? People doing recap posts, that's fine. People making content
Mhm.
about themselves playing darts and putting themselves very forward, that should be fine too, right? Like things like that. People vocalizing in certain ways and healthier ways their opinions, while not in ways that actually are constructive conversation or trying to drive to a solution. These are all things that are okay. I don't want to discourage players from being able to advocate in those ways. It's targeting ways that they're not okay and making sure we're correcting the culture. Chrissy, you're the best. You're the tits, ma. All right, you are.
There was another really interesting post by Danny Baggish, and so it's almost kind of like the opposite response of the darts community that seemed to not resonate with them. So I think about 100 comments or so. He was calling out specifically soft tip players and asking why are they not joining the likes of Chris Lim and Leonard Gates and going to major soft tip stages, because he believes, number one, that the ROI is there. Further, number two, thinks that any of those guys are highly guaranteed to find a sponsor who will finance the travel. So again, that's the one that did not seem to resonate with folks. What are your thoughts, Nick?
Uh, okay. So on one hand, if you're a talented enough player to be playing at that level, I do argue that you should find a way to try it once. I'm not saying you have to do it every time. I'm not saying you have to overly commit. But I do think, like, we saw Ram Guevara or Brandon Perez and some of these others go to like K-Fest. We've seen them go over there. We've seen some of these players attempt the Darts Live stage. We've seen stuff like that before. And I think that if these players have made an earnest effort to attempt, there's a certain level of responsibility that, and I will say this cautiously, there's a certain level of responsibility as a top level player that you have, where if you have the ability and you have the current hot hand in game to go win on an international competition, you are benefiting the entire North American dart scene. I mean, you really are. Hearing Alex Spellman say that he's not going to play PDC, I know that has a lot to do with DRA and a prescription drug related stuff with his medications. But hearing stuff like that does actually make me a little sad. Same thing like, but to the same extent, like, Stowe Bunt's another talented player that can't overly commit because of his current job and the age of his kids, right? But do I think that they're worse off for doing it or that they have an obligation to? No. But do I think that if you're that level, you should try and make a concerted effort to go and represent? I think you have a onus as a North American representative to help push the sport forward if you have the ability to do so.
I actually really struggle with this because I think the main problem I have with his argument is it skips over a lot of practical realities, especially the sponsorship aspect. That level of financial commitment into even the best players in America simply just doesn't exist. You'll pretty much only find a financial backer who's going to take majority of your earnings if you win something like an agent. And a lot of people that have dealt with them and who get representation get into lawsuits with them over money. It's real messy. I'm being honest. Like, I have been working in the back end of this industry for 9 years now, almost 10 years. I was a sponsored player. I sponsor players now. This is something I feel pretty passionate about, that I just don't condone risking your relationship with your spouse and kids to live overseas, for example. There's that route instead of the burden of traveling once a month overseas. Like, people go there or just go weeks at a time. It wasn't good for Danny Lobby, in my opinion. I'm just one girl's opinion.
Mhm.
If we're being for real right now,
Be
my
so for
heart
real right
breaks
now.
for Lobby. My heart breaks for him. I think his decision to chase his dreams and live in England was not worth losing family and quality time with the young one. I just can't get behind this yet. Not until darts is way bigger and there are better opportunities for big cash in America routinely rather than overseas, because the ROI for the sponsor doesn't exist. Maybe the ROI exists in cash prize for the player, but with him being so confident and saying like, yeah, just put yourself out there, represent yourself, negotiate, make the deal. You can, but you're going to screw over that sponsor. Trust me, I know. Every major American is not selling player darts the way you think they are. It's one of the worst
Except me.
moving lines, except Nick Teixeira. That is a fact. Except Nick, but except for influencers. So nobody wants to hear this, but is the God honest truth. Influencer over player every day of the week is what manufacturers are looking at now. I know because I talk to them. They seek out my advice because this is something that they're coming into the North American market and all they care about is the modern day and age of content creation and social media. And really, really good players, they don't have the time for that, nor do some of them have the skill required to have personality on camera, be able to put content out in a format that is modern. The literal only person doing it is Alex Spellman, and he's doing it well. But I would argue, and this is absolutely no disrespect or no offense intended, but he's not necessarily doing it in a super modern way, the way like we are trained to do for our jobs where my livelihood depends on it, right? It's a lot of like really long format, 1920 by 1080 aspect ratio, not intended for social media platforms. If he makes a couple of tweaks, I think he 10x's his retention and overall views, without a doubt. There needs to be a hook. He needs to get to the point quicker. The quality of the content that Alex is putting out is incredible. Sorry, pardon my language. But the formatting, the packaging, and the modernization needs to be there. What?
How dare you curse on our show? What the are you doing?
Yeah, I did in my head. I'm at a bullshooter regional tour stop, but I'm in my house right now. I can say what I want. Sorry, that was a long tangent, but it needs to be said. Guys out there, you will not sell a player dart the way you think you will. It is just so bad in America. It is the complete opposite buying culture from the EU. I am sad to say that nobody even comes close to the numbers that I sell of my own dart. We're out of stock. Tungsten issue, it's going to come back eventually, but the reality is I have not been a player for 10 years. I am a very notable content creator, and the power behind that is just insane. The bull hitters could destroy any American player trying to merchandise themselves and create ROI for a sponsor. It just doesn't exist unless you are maybe Alex Spellman. And I would say the one exception, even though he doesn't make content, like modern content with video format is Mike Maloney. If anyone were to come to me today and say, who's a player I should poach right now, I would say Mike Maloney and try to help him make video. Hire someone to help him make video of himself. He's the most like chronically online guy. If only he cared to or had the talent to want to also do the stuff that Alex is without just text posts. And he does an amazing job arguing with people online and puts out a lot of good information. But if that was packaged in a modern way that would reach young people in video format, oh my God, his negotiation power goes to here from here. So those are the only two in my head. It's just unfortunate. Influencer over player for sponsorship ROI, without a doubt.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. It's a fair take. It's a real take. It's the uncomfortable truth I don't think many people want to hear with something like this. And you're right. The biggest thing is if you're giving up any quality of life to be able to do this. I'm not talking about like, okay, maybe I'm budgeting extra hard on having a ramen month to make sure I can afford going to Korea, right? That's a choice. That's fine. I can tell you, out of the handful of players that do try to go to these international opportunities, that do try to really go, there's a fair amount of them that have a terrible quality of life standard because of the decisions they're making. And I'm sure you guys have all pictured one of them in your head. And it makes me sad to see that players will do that. When I say that you have an opportunity to go and push the game forward by going, that's assuming you have the means to be able to do it. Like I said, with Stowe, with his job and his kids, I don't blame him for only taking every now and again. And he still has, for the record, go and take a couple of those opportunities. You know, Ram Guevara has gone to Korea now and he's traveled out. You know, we see Leonard Gates consistently do it at the top end. Danny Baggish has had obviously his foray and his dark years from it as well, which is a little bit of a irony here, right? Is that the full-time commitment was a problem. But if we look specifically back to the base of the question of these big soft tip tournaments that happen overseas, I will argue that if you are a top level player not attempting to qualify for it, I do think that you're doing yourself a disservice. I do think that you're potentially hurting yourself. To the sponsors, some of them will still take risks. Whether they should or shouldn't is definitely, and I think Jen's right, shouldn't is probably the answer for a lot of these companies, but some of them are willing to take a loss leader in the space for whatever reason, right? Whatever reason it may be, whatever deal you may strike. A lot of players lack the charisma to be able to land the deals that they need to be able to fund it. But I can guarantee you that if there was one of these pros that have never traveled out of the country that happened to land one of these really big international opportunities, if Mike Maloney goes and qualifies for one of these events, I guarantee you he would have the funds overnight if he asked the community for help. I'm not saying that we should necessarily normalize GoFundMe style player journeys, but what I'm saying is that I would love to see all of our top shots at least take one big swing.
I think they are pretty normal, if I'm being honest. The past decade, I mean, so many people, even if it's just the one-off experience, I think people are about that. They want that for that person. They deserve it. I mean, I would say like Mike is the best example of people. Well, Danny and Mike to me are like equal. Like people could rally up behind them easily. And Danny, a great example, like just such a hilarious, amazing content creator himself. You know, it's just unfortunate. So I'm not saying it's impossible to find the sponsorship. It's just not practical, realistic, or helpful for the sponsor. You won't create a long-term relationship with them. They will realize they haven't gotten their return. Doesn't mean that they shouldn't be altruistic and want to be philanthropic. Is that the word? Maybe they do want to donate or treat it as charity. I think David Garfinkel is probably the best example of someone who's committed his soul to darts and has just given away any possible profit he could have ever turned for the love of the game. He's probably the top guy in my head that's like, yes, I'm going to support every player in the world, anyone who's deserved. I'm going to make this happen, whether it's good for me personally or not. And those people exist, but I think it's a little reckless to just say, it's out there, go get it, push yourself.
Yes.
I don't think that's the practical message to give out just yet. I have hope. I have hope.
Agreed. But go play a qualifier. If you're able to, like, I still think you should at least see if you're even one of these people that is eligible for this, go out and get it, right? I do think that there's a certain level of like, I'm not going to do it because I don't even have any interest in it. And I don't want to spend the whatever entry fee is to do it. That's where you start to lose me. I do agree. Otherwise, you're right, Jen. Like, I think that a lot of these players, Frankly, I would rather continue to build the opportunities here myself. And specifically when we're talking PDC versus a big international soft event, big PDC event, having players go over there and attempt that while the lifestyle commitment is much more intensive, has much more benefit to the greater North American dart scene. When I say that, well, a singular big soft tip wins, Chris Lim going and winning $10,000 at Darts Live, great, good for him. I really am happy for him. That won't push the game forward here particularly.
Yeah, I mean, if I can just say one more thing, like on
You
topic
can't.
to the people, to the people like worried about this, I'm telling you, I work in the industry. I talk to every manufacturer globally in darts. So I'm understanding the business side of it. North America, Germany are the top two growth potential in the eyes of every manufacturer right now. They want to invest in the United States. Trust me when I say the tides are turning. Everybody is building factories here. They're moving into this territory. It's not great for like my job, but things are swinging North America. And I think, like you said, we can focus on building opportunities here, big opportunities. And I really think within the next 5 years, we're going to see some like we're already seeing crazy decisions being made coming towards America. So have high hopes. I wouldn't pressure people to go overseas right this second.
Yeah, I think that's a fair take. And Jen, you know what's going to be some not fair takes? We're going to
What?
be playing a brand new segment. This is pointed at picks here, where we're going to go and make a top 5 drafts of 4 different categories here. You guys are going to let us know in the comments who had the better list between the two of us. It's draft style, where we each take turns picking our first pick, second pick, third pick, fourth pick, fifth pick, going back and forth. No duplicates. And whoever has the better list in the comments, you guys let us know, because we're going to argue our picks here a little bit. I'm feeling a little saucy today, Jen.
I'm feeling a little nervous because I feel like you planned this whole segment and I'm coming in blind.
This
So
is
I'm hoping I
listicles.
can
You
at least
basically just wanted
contend.
listicles. You wanted this.
Okay, what's topic number 1?
Okay, I have 4 different topics. So I'll let you choose the topic first. And I purposely did not try to pre-write any answers here, so we're going off top of the dome. The 4 topics today: U.S. dart players actively playing since 2020. So not all time. Again, they
Okay.
could be playing before that, but they have to be active, played within the last 6 years. Vegetables, sodas, and dart finishes.
Okay. What an
What,
eclectic list.
which one do you
All
want
right.
to start with today?
Let's just go in order. Let's rip off with US dart players. So we're just like, is it our Mount Rushmore? Or are we trying to build a team right now?
So we're just gonna make the best list of U.S. dart players. Who has the better list, eclectic of players, between the two of us? And you know what? Actually, for this one in particular, our teams will play against each other. Okay. Our teams will play against each other. You
Yes.
guys let us know in the comments which team will win. You'll get first pick, then I'll do my first pick. We each pick 5 in total. Okay.
Okay. And does it need to be a mix of gender? Like what are the rules here?
I believe that men and women are equal in my eyes, Jen.
But we're going for top level talent, is what you're thinking?
Yes, at least 1 female per team.
Okay.
How about that?
Who gets to go first?
You'll go first. You'll go first on this one, because I've done a couple of
Ooh.
drafts and I'm a kind of a pro at this.
Okay. Paula Murphy.
Take him. Okay. See, you took the woman at 1, right? And Paula
Yeah.
was a great pick. I'll tell you, if we're gonna go that route, give me Chrissy. Obviously, we just talked about her a bunch, but I think Chrissy, like Paula, is a Mount Rushmore level female player, but Chrissy Grimmel to me is just a very fiery teammate, and I think she'll really be good at like captaining the whole team together.
That's very true. But I guess we didn't discuss soft tip or steel tip, or could we just imagine it's a mix format?
Yeah, it's
That's why
the
I go
darts
Paula.
tournament.
She just has the major favor on the steel tip side and can also sling some soft tip. But yeah, Chrissy, it was my first thought for soft tip on the women's side. So yeah, okay. And now it's back to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go. I have to go Leonard Gates.
Fair. I think Leonard's a very fair pick. I mean, he had again one of the most consistent players of all time, consistently at the high level. I'm going to be a little unorthodox here. I'm going to pick a player that I think again will mesh really well in a team-based environment. I think has a lot of potential, even though they haven't played much in the last 6 years. Danny Baggish. I'm going to take Baggish on this one. I think and I'm not just trying to go with people from our produce report.
You
But
just took the top 2 produce report.
I think he's one
Okay.
that's like if you gave him even just a day's heads up, could warm up enough to be able to perform at a top level.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Yeah.
So
If
gonna
you're
have to
going
go
for
with that
you're going
direction.
for camaraderie, and I'm just gonna like just shower my players with money as incentive. So
Oh,
yeah,
the
I don't
sponsors
care
finding the
if they.
ROI now, aren't they, Jen?
No, I'm going bankrupt trying to beat you at this. Okay. I pick. This is where it's getting hard. I'm gonna take Mike Maloney.
Interesting. Why Mike? Why Mike at 3 here?
I think because it's a large group dynamic, this is where he would shine rather than it being like singles where in-person playoff, right? Like this isn't going to be a remote tournament. We're going to fly all these people. This is exhibition style, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're all facing each other in person. I think this would be his time to shine. He's just strong.
I mean, they don't call him Hulk Smash for nothing. I'm going to have to then go with a player that is very relevant to our topics list. I'll give you Chris
I know
Lim.
what you're going to say. Chris
Yep,
Lim.
Chris Lim. I mean,
See,
it's
I was going to
top level talent.
I was-
I don't know.
I was gonna pick him to be a jerk because I know you want him and Danny together so badly.
Yeah,
Because that's the
the slanted point of view
That's
podcast.
the slanted point of view podcast that never happened. Yeah. Oh God. Okay, so you have Chrissy, Danny, Chris. I have Paula, Leonard, Mike, and we
Yep.
get 2 more.
2 more picks.
All right, give me Alex Spellman. Come on over. The water is fine.
Alex Spellman. Okay,
Yeah, 'cause
interesting.
he's my good boy.
Then I'll take Ram Guevara Jr.
Oh, classic mistake on my part.
Yeah, give me
Woo!
Ram.
I cannot believe I didn't think of Ram. I was screaming his name during that little short segment we did. How could I not think of
were.
Ram? But you know what? I will say though, like I still feel so strongly about my team on the steel tip side and their ability to be incredible in soft tip. So overall, like roundedness is still looking
Rams
good. I've
playing
got one more
CDC.
player.
Chris Lim of the Lim Legacy
know.
plays some amazing
know.
steel. I'm just saying, I think my list isn't too bad.
Gosh,
Danny?
this fifth
Danny
one.
on the steel? Hold on. You're just saying that
I
you gave Chrissy
know.
over Paula, which is still competitive.
No, I mean, come on. All the people have dealt with like big pressure moments. Okay, 5th person. This is where it gets really interesting. I have so many like just running through my head. Like I want to say like a Jeff Springer Jr., but he's taken a couple years off, had the kiddo. I love Jason Brandon, but I think he shines the best in singles. Guys
Yeah?
freaking can just go on monstrous runs. So maybe not the best for the team dynamic. You got your Garrett Rakowski. He's great for a team. You got your Porkies out
Just keep
there.
giving me ideas.
Ooh.
No, I like this. This is great.
Yeah,
Just
why
keep it-
why am I
keep it-
talking out loud? Why? Ah.
No. It's a podcast. You're still supposed to talk out loud, Jen. No, Jen, no.
Dude, seriously, this is so hard.
Because you know your team's in trouble right now.
Okay. I'm gonna do. Wait, this is just American, right? I was like, what about Canada? Like, I just had a panic.
I'll take Jeff
Yeah.
Smith. Thank you very much.
Well, Canadian players just kept running through my mind. Okay, I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and make a decision. I'm gonna go with Garrett. I'm gonna take Garrett Rakowski.
I mean, I can't argue. He's definitely my favorite ambassador nerds. Like when I talk about like my favorites in North America in general, like Garrett Rakowski comes to mind. He is the nicest guy. He truly is one of the best representatives in the dark game. But I'm going to go with one of the meanest guys in the dark game. I'm going to go with someone that is big and ostentatious, but someone that really likes to perform in the big moments. Give me Stowe Bunce. Give me Steel Buns as my final pick here.
Ooh, excellent pick. Yep. You know, I should have ran through the CDC list in my head, but I was already so steel tip heavy. I was like, no, give me like a
I,
spunky soft tip guy who's gonna be like clutch. I see Garrett being clutch as like a tail
oh
end
yeah.
player in that group.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm surprised, I was talking with him about steel tip the other day, and I was surprised. I'm like, how do you get your darts in the board with you? It has a very long dart setup with those like thin, like super kites on the back. I don't even, there might be even like smaller size than that, but it blows my mind. But he's such a talented player. But I think, Jen, this is pretty close. I think I got it.
So
I got
the people will vote. I think.
Sell the
I
people on
want
your
to
list.
start over, but
No,
it's okay.
nope. Sell the
Okay.
people.
Oh,
Tell them
sell-
why you're.
oh,
Yeah,
oh.
sell them.
Don't fold, don't crumble.
Don't
Look,
crumble under
there's-
the. Please put in pressure like the pizza tier list.
They sell themselves, guys. Like results matter, and that is a group of people with some historic results, like decades of experience right there. I mean, it's just a solid group.
I don't think there is any argument that no matter what, my team will be the most fun to watch. I think mine has some loud personalities in there. I think
We got some roars from Leonard Gates. Like, okay, like Paula and Alex are going to be far more like even keel,
some
calm,
of the
composure.
most subdued players at the line.
Huh. I didn't think about entertainment
Versus
value.
I'm over here with like Danny the Gambler Rambler over there, Stowe the Neon Nightmare, Chrissy
Yeah,
the Heisman
yeah.
Pose Grimmel. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, Nick, I'm just gonna go ahead and give it to you already because when you think of all of those aspects together, like you put together a great team.
Thank you. I'm going to be honest. Again, I've done a lot more drafts, kind of a pro at this, but you guys are the ones that decided, not Jen and I. Let us know right now who has the better team, whose team would beat the other team in a steel tip, soft tip combination format.
There you go.
All
All right. What's next?
I think it's time to talk about some vegetables.
All right, vegetables. Okay.
Yeah.
You get to go first since I went first last time.
Okay. The problem is I don't eat a lot of vegetables, but I'm going to go for me. And I'm going to be a little liberal with my definition of vegetable here today, folks. Okay. I'm going to start off with like a classic mushroom.
Oh, damn. That's tough.
It's a good first.
So I can't say like pink oyster mushroom. Like you just picked mushrooms, so you kind of cover it all.
I don't know enough about mushrooms, Jen. I wish I could do more.
There are so many kinds. Oh my gosh. Just the wild mushrooms. Okay. I'll let you just have mushroom.
Give me mushroom.
I'm going to go. I got to go for like some classic, like corn on the cob. Like that's the Southern in me. I'm going to put that up there as like a treat. Like we're talking flavor, right? Like we're not trying to go for like the healthiest vegetables. It's just like what we crave to eat.
This is a ranking of who picks the best 5 vegetables.
Okay.
The goats of vegetables.
We're picking the goats of vegetables. Yeah. Corn on the cob with some butter. Little spriggies on there. Yeah.
Spriggies? Is that what they're called?
The little corn cobs. Little things.
The corn and the corn cobs.
The corn on corn action. Yeah.
Corn, like sweet corn pudding is also like one of my favorite sides. I love sweet corn pudding so much. I love that. I used to have a roommate that would bring me sweet corn pudding home all the time. It was the freaking best. Okay. I will then have to go with a classic white onion. I'm going with a white onion here.
Damn it, dude. I was going to say caramelized onions next, but all right. You're coming on strong. That's fine.
I'm good at this, Jen.
Garlic. If you're taking onion, I'm taking garlic without a doubt. Roasted garlic.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
How did I forget
what you got,
about
boy?
Papa garlic? Garlic's great. Okay. That Jen, game respects game. Okay. I respect you got hands over there. You know, I'm gonna name some vegetables that don't deserve to be anywhere near this list. Iceberg lettuce, no, get that out of here. No one wants someone like an iceberg in here. You know, no one wants any of that garbage. Honestly, overrated vegetables, get carrots out of here. You know, I don't want that anywhere near my list. Yeah,
roasted carrot, a carrot puree.
Yeah, if you're a horse,
carrot jubilee. Okay, fine.
I think I'm gonna have to go with something that can be versatile because it can turn into basically another vegetable, and works well with a multitude of things. Give me cucumber.
Ooh, cucumber.
Because
I don't know if
cucumbers turn
everyone's
into
going to be on
pickles,
your
right?
side.
Is that how that works? I don't know how
Yeah,
pickles
yeah.
work. Okay.
Nick, really? You could pickle anything. Oh, Nick, we'll talk off air.
So pickles are just cucumbers? Like pickling is
Yes.
the process, but so a pickle is a
Pickling is
pickled?
yeah.
Pickles are pickled.
Pickles are pickled cucumbers. They're just shortened to pickle because it's the most common thing to pickle. But you
That's
got
kind of
like,
stupid in a naming convention sense.
yeah, it's the American English. I mean, come on, let's be
Fair
real.
enough.
Okay, I am gonna have to stay true to myself and go for like a roasted Brussels sprout, deep fried Brussels sprout situation
Sure.
with some balsamic vinegar and honey, Parmesan cheese. Oh, it's the best.
All you can have that. I like Brussels. Don't get me wrong. We actually shared some the other day when I was over in Sacramento. It was very romantic. Actually, I think Tears has stole the first one. If I'm thinking about this now, if I remember, she said, "I don't want that," and then immediately took the first one.
Yeah.
And true Tears of fashion. That's fine. I'm gonna go with the best vegetable, the one that is memed about with kids a lot. One of the best vegetables, I should say. The one that is the fear of kids, but the tastiest of adult combinations. I think broccoli. Maybe some broccoli up in there.
Ah, that's such like a white boy plain. Like it's hard to spruce up
What
broccoli.
am I, Jen? From Ohio.
Okay, staying true to yourself, my guy. I can't believe I didn't think of this till now, but I gotta go with just a good old potato.
No,
That should have been
I knew-
number one.
Yeah.
Should have been number one.
Potatoes and garlic alone make your list so freaking good.
Yeah, boy. If only I had caramelized onion, I'd feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, that's really good. But I mean, I guess I got mushrooms and onions. Those are great picks. I got pickles, effectively. I got what I believe becomes pickles, which is worth something. I'm gonna pick one for the people because I actually don't like this at all. Give me sweet potato.
Inferior to potato, but that's okay. That's okay.
I agree. That's why it's at pick 5. That's why it rounds out the list.
I'm gonna have to finish off my list with a gorgeous pan-seared asparagus.
Yeah,
That's
fine.
my 5.
You can have that. That's a stinky vegetable. It's the stinky pea.
Love it.
I'm going to be honest. I think you have a strong list here, but if you think about what my vegetables represent, they represent equality. They represent freedom of speech. They represent America.
Nick, what's the next category?
Hey,
Wait,
next category.
Wait, you haven't picked your last vegetable. I'm sorry. Or no, you did. I went
did.
second. Yeah, my bad.
No,
My bad.
you're good. No,
Okay, yeah.
you're fine. Don't let it happen again.
What's the next category?
Sodas. We're gonna do soda pops.
Oh man, this is hard.
This one's
Okay,
hard. This is a soda draft. Go ahead. Start
alternate start, so it's on me. Okay. Mountain Dew Baja Blast. It's got to be number 1. Before it got bottled and served in stores, when it was just Taco Bell exclusive.
There's already an asterisk here.
Oh,
You
when it
can't
was just a Taco Bell, guys.
This is the second time you brought up a Taco Bell exclusivity in 2 episodes, by the way. Baja
Is
Blast.
it really?
We talked about it last time.
Oh yeah, because when I was fat, I ate Taco Bell every day.
Yeah. Me over here, meatball goulash. You over here, like, one time I went to Taco Bell.
Yeah. Okay, so that's my first pick.
Really? First?
Mm-hmm.
Girl, you could have gotten that like 4, maybe even 5. Like you picked that
That's
early.
the best. Baja Blast.
Baja Blast. I think if we're going to, this is a list for the people because that's what I am representing. I'm gonna just have to start off with a classic Coca-Cola.
So boring. Unexpected.
Okay.
Okay. Number 2 for me is going to be a bottled cream soda.
Which one? You gotta say a brand.
I don't know. I don't think I have a preference.
You just like any
I'm not
cream
gonna
soda? They're
say-
all the same to you? Your soda's so boring
Yeah.
that you can't tell the difference between
I
proper manufacturers.
I haven't drinking soda in like a decade, so
That's probably
I just
so
don't
fair.
know. I can't remember. I remember being a kid and loving these sodas. So this is where my list is coming from. It's like my kid heart coming out right now.
Fair. I do love cream soda for the record, but I'm gonna go ahead and get me a really good Dr. Pepper. Give me a Dr.
Dude,
Pepper up in
you
here.
stole DP from me? Oh.
Yes. I still Dr. and Pepper. It literally is
right.
consisting of 23 different flavors mixed together.
To make up for this atrocity, I knew I should have said it second. I'm going to say Mr. Pibb
Oh, you can have Mr. Pibb.
in the
I love
movie
Mr.
theater.
Pibb, but that's a big that's a big all you. Give me an A&W root beer here.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
What's that supposed to be?
I'm going to take...
No, stop that for a second. You knew I was going to say stuff nonsense. Like, what is this like?
It's just like such an incel thing to say. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. You know what's never going to be on my list till the day I die is Squirt. You weirdos.
Terrible soda.
Will
what an
never be on
soda.
my list.
Never. You would have to put a gun in my head and pull the trigger because it ain't ending up there. Will's already typing his hate comment right now.
I just wanted to I always want to bring it back to Will. That's what this whole podcast is about.
It's just for Will.
Okay. Number 4 for me is going to be an Orange Crush.
Interesting. An Orange Crush. Okay, so now I'm starting to like cycle through the sodas in my brain. Give me a McDonald's Sprite.
Sprite. It's so sugary though. Ugh.
Yeah. I don't drink soda to feel good about myself. Do you?
I mean,
these people, you can't talk about these freaking posers out here with their probiotic sodas. No, you. Okay?
I literally have 2 in my fridge.
Yeah,
I have 2 in my fridge right now.
Just commit to either being healthy or being bad. This little walking the line BS is so annoying. It's just pick a lane.
Nick. Okay, you guys and your hate for like flavored waters and things like
I love flavored water. That's not the problem.
Okay.
Probiotic sodas are flavored water if they tried to put on a different outfit and said, look, I'm this thing now. No, you change clothes. You're still flavored water.
No, the probiotic soda only has like 4 grams of sugar, though. We're talking a massive difference. It's essentially like a diet soda with probiotics put in. At all times in my fridge, I have kimchi, homemade by my wife, who is Irish.
Delicious.
And she makes kimchi.
Irish kimchi is
so good.
That's fine.
Irish kimchi, top tier. Number 2, I always have kombucha, specifically the Pink Lady apple flavor. And I almost always have some other kind of variation, like some kind of special probiotic like cottage cheese or like a yogurt or like, but currently I have a probiotic soda pop and they're cream soda flavored.
You can't even explain to me what a probiotic is. Because I don't know what a probiotic even is. I think that's some made up liberal bullshit.
our true colors coming out in this podcast. Okay. I lost track. Whose turn is it? I have 4. I said Orange Crush for my 4th one.
Yeah, that's right. And then you like mentioned we started talking about. I don't know why we got probiotic sodas, but you did mention Orange Crush. Yeah, because I mentioned that they were lame. Okay. No, and I said McDonald's Sprite, so we're on 5. It's on you. It's on you.
It is on me. Okay. Wait, but I went first.
Yeah. 1.
Okay, hold up.
1,
Baja
2,
Blast.
2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5.
I said Baja Blast, cream soda, Mr. Pibb, Orange Crush. I'm missing my 5th one. Huh.
You haven't said yet.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with Mountain Dew.
2 Mountain Dews on your list.
2 Dews.
2 Dews?
Yeah. Classic Mountain
Two
Dew and Baja Blast. Can I change Orange Crush to the Sunkissed?
You can change the brand of the soda. I'll allow that. Today.
Yeah. Sunkissed. I just can't remember though. I'm having doubts.
Is
or
it
Fanta? Oh God, there's so many.
Okay, now
anyway,
you got in your head, Jen. Pick one. No, pick which orange.
I'm gonna stick with Orange Crush.
All right, Orange Crush. Okay, last one for me. if I had to pick a soda that could represent, that could hang out, that could really um will make it on its own. I'm gonna actually take my personal favorite soda, and people, this might tank the whole list for some people because the people are gonna say this and be like, "Really? That's your pick?" But Diet Coke Lime is one of the best sodas that's ever been invented. It is flavorful.
Mm,
It is still
okay.
people already call Diet Cokes the fridge cigs, because that's effectively what they are. Give me a Diet Coke Lime. Give me like something with a little bit of balance here. Again, it kind of goes against my whole probiotic pick to be healthy or unhealthy argument I just made. But besides the point,
Yeah.
it's delicious.
Yeah. Okay. Good list. I'm excited to see the result on that. The
This is the
voting
most
result on that
50-50.
one.
I feel like each round has
Yeah.
had a clear winner. But this last round might be the most divisive yet. Dart finishes. So we're gonna name finishes between 2 to 170. And we're gonna pick the best finishes.
Just okay. No explanation needed.
That's all there is to it. And
You're
I get to go first, I believe, right?
yes. Start us off, my guy. Mugs away.
Well, I'm gonna take 170. You have to start off 170. It is the best finish, definitively. It's the most exciting to watch happen. It's the biggest celebration. It's the biggest roar.
Then I'm gonna take 150. 3 bullseyes.
Oh, you're taking a Whitlock 150?
I'm taking a Whitlock 150.
Whitlock? Give me the most common 9 darter 141.
Interesting. Should have thought of that. Take it. Okay. Give me 132 bull double 16.
I want a champagne shot so bad. God,
Yeah.
I love champagne shot. That's so good. Jen, why? Okay. Give me a 120 Jose de Sosa throw on the double.
Fine. I knew you were gonna say that. Give me a 126, but finish on the bull. 419's
126.
bull.
126 on the bull. Okay, for my fourth, give me a classic setup on double top for the match. Give me 40.
You're a simp for tops.
Okay, you took 132, which is normally the one I would have said there. Let's not. I can't be a simp and an incel. Pick a lane.
You know what I love is 125 starting on 25.
Yeah,
It's just
that's a fun
fun.
one.
Like
That's a
doop,
fun
doop, doop.
one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what does it do?
Doop doop doop. That's 125. Check.
Okay. Then I'll round it out with 135 starting on the bull.
Okay, big pressure. Last one. You know what? It's special to me. My first like major checkout for a win that really mattered to be Americans beating Canadians in Canada. Give me a solid 100. 2 darts needed only. Boom boom. Doop doop.
Wow. Double bull.
And when I no. No, just it stands out in my mind because when I hit treble 20, opponent in the background just goes, "Shit." And I just could hear it and I'm like, "Oh yeah."
Oh, it was
Stop,
intoxicating,
baby.
wasn't it? Yep.
I just knew it was gonna go. I
Oh,
loved
that's
it.
good. I would like
Felt
to
better
say
than my first
every one of my
finish.
finishes, I pretty much have not hit in a match except for 141. But it wasn't on a 9. I remember I was shooting like a 50 average in the leg. I was playing a DPFL season 11, shooting like a 50 average for a leg. All of a sudden I go up there, trip 20, trip 19, double 12. The guy's like, "That's what they do in the PDC." And I said, "Only that part, definitely not what happened before." And then the next leg, shoot like a 50 average, checked out a 126 on the bull on him. He's like, "What's going on?" And I still lost that. Those were the only 2 legs I won that whole match.
Oh my god, chat. I should auto instant win because I've hit all of my checkouts except for the Whitlock 150. There's no way I'm that cool. I've dead-eyed, of course, but never on a checkout. I wouldn't be ballsy enough to go for it.
You were actually traveling pro. Some of us had to have day jobs. You
Pro
pros
is
in your
a stretch.
your entitlement that you pros have. This is one of the biggest problems I've said about the old guard, and I think that you're part of the problem.
Without a doubt. Okay, that was fun. I really liked that last one.
I did it too. Jen, What do we got up next?
Well, it depends. I really would love to start explaining movie plots to you because your CSC suggested movie list is getting so long. I want to like shame you into like watching them just for the podcast. So are you up for that or do you want to move on to the pointed
Yeah.
question?
So, yeah. And for everybody wondering, this is called Plot or Not, where Jen's going to explain a movie that I need to watch. And then by the next episode of the podcast, I'm going to give my book report on the movie. So this is a little 2-part segment. I'm ready for it if you are.
Okay, so I've got your CSC Excel doc up and I'm just like browsing through some. So are there any rules? Can I just pick whatever? Like, can I pick
Not
one of my
Debbie
own
Does
suggestions?
Dallas.
No. Well, I've added a lot to the list personally. So if I may, I think the movie I want to watch with you so badly is Sister Act 1 and 2, but for the sake of time, we're only going to describe number 1. So here we go. Okay. Plot or not, Sister Act. All right, Nick. Imagine Whoopi Goldberg is a lounge singer who did not sign up for a life of discipline, early mornings, and modest fashion, okay? She suddenly finds herself thrown into the most unexpected witness protection situation imaginable, disguising herself as a nun and hiding out in a convent. Okay, so picture this. All right, a woman whose entire personality is just like glitter and attitude and nightclub, like diva energy. She gets dropped into a building full of rule following, no nonsense nuns who think naughty means adding an extra hymn. I don't know. At first, she, at first, she's about as subtle as a disco ball, okay? Our little Whoopi. But slowly against all odds, she starts shaking things up in a way that no one saw coming in this convent. Okay, traditions are getting flipped, personalities are clashing, and let's just say church starts sounding a lot less like Sunday morning and a lot more like Saturday night. Okay, baby. So
Are you
stupid.
reading a script, by the way, or this is just how you describe things? Is this real?
This is how I describe movies.
Amazing.
I'm trying so hard.
I thought you were
to
reading
not-
the Wikipedia on it with like a chat GPT twist. This is just how you talk?
No, Nick, this is just my favorite movie. Okay, so hold on. 1 and 2. Okay, so okay. If you ask my wife, ask anyone, I'm the worst spoiler, and I'm trying so hard to still like keep like not really reveal anything, but like just use colorful enough language to give you the vibe of the movie. So it's very lighthearted, very non-serious, but she's in a witness protection program, right? So she's trying super hard to not get caught by literally anyone. And all the while, she becomes the most iconic nun we've ever seen. So it's chaotic, it's singy, it's just wholesome as hell. I can't wait for you to watch it.
After that description, I gotta just say, can you just describe things more? That was awesome. Like you were doing that. I was like doing a bit where I was just gonna pose and be like, haha, she's gonna explain something to me. And I was like, ooh, what is this Sister Act?
It's Plot or Not, Sister Act.
Plot
So
or
you gonna
Not.
watch it? Are you excited?
I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna watch it, and the next episode, guys, we're gonna to see A, how well she described the pot, and B, if I liked it or not.
Yes, so we get points for the description. Is it accurate? I mean, come on. I feel like I nailed it. I've seen it a million times. And then
You
2,
sold me on
Nick's
it.
reaction. Yeah, you're gonna love it. There's no
Hey.
way you dislike this movie.
I'm excited. Chat. Also, let us know what other movie should I be watching. And have Jen describe to me. Vice versa. I'm sure I will start making you watch some nerdy stuff. I can't wait to do Plot or Not, but it's just me making you watch Jujutsu Kaisen the anime. I can't wait.
Oh no.
It's peak, Jen.
I can't.
It's peak. Season
I
3
mean-
just finished and it's peak.
I'm in so many good shows right now. I don't think I'm willing to like put a pause on that. Like a movie, I'll sit down for a movie, but like, come on, 3 seasons of an anime? That's commitment.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm giving you commitment. I'm helping you become a more stable person.
All right, Nick, I'm ready to finish off this episode strong with our pointed question. What do we have today?
The pointed question of today: does apparel and darts really matter? Does it make a difference? Does it, should you dress to impress? What should you do? What should you not do? Let's talk everything apparel. The shout out to Sheila G Minor and Ryan over this last weekend. They handed me three. Ryan's a youth player there. They sat down at a table together and three different postcards or like little like note cards, wrote down a bunch of different notes and ideas for the show. And Ryan's opinion when Sheila asked, "Hey, do you think dark jerseys matter?" He he said it's just a shirt. So but they want to know our thoughts. And Jen, with your expertise as a jersey extraordinaire, let's
clothing
wearer of shirts.
I do wear shirts.
Thank
I wear
God.
the hell out of some shirts.
Yeah, you do. Look at you little fruit salad, you. So what do you think, first off, just overall, does apparel matter in darts?
Yes, but mostly just for comfort and consistency and confidence, right? Not obviously not for performance, unless you are into what's called oh my goodness.
Drugs.
I'm totally blanking on the word. No. It's called a
Adderall.
raglan sleeve. A raglan sleeve. So I would say that's the only performance benefit of worrying about your uniform. Instead of the stitching being right on the seam of the shoulder, it ends up connecting to the collar. And so it's just completely smooth piece of fabric. So you won't have any like restriction if that annoys you or bothers you. Some people like pull up their sleeve, and we've got people in like a lot in the Midwest that like to wear like sleeveless shirts because they just can't be bothered and they're fussy. I mean, I hate to say it that way. I don't mean to be offensive, but you're fussy. You don't want to deal with sleeves. Raglan sleeve might be a solution for you. If your shirt like sticks to you or rides up or messes with your throw, and you'll feel it, right? So I think it matters in a pretty practical sense and also in a very vain sense, because the uniform is 100% polyester dye sublimated jerseys. You can sublimate all of your sponsor logos onto your shirt. You can put your name on there. You can come up with a custom, one of a kind design just for you and promote yourself within the darts world that way. I think there's lots of practical purposes for clothing. Accessories is a little bit of a different topic. But overall, I would obviously argue that jersey is important, and it's the uniform that we all live by as darts players.
See, I don't know. You're talking about putting the sponsor logos on the jersey. Nothing's funnier than watching Kevin Luke restick his sticker for the 17th time on his jersey during a dart tournament. It really does. It's the little things that bring me joy. No, okay. So I think we have to overall concept: look good, feel good, play good. You should. The better you look, the better you feel, the better you'll play. Those things do actually have correlation, but the actual specifics is where, yes, I think if you're going with a shirt again with the stitching in the shoulder versus whatever the hell fancy term you used to describe it, that does make an actual tangible difference. But you can find clothing and other shirts and polos that naturally have that kind of stitching as well outside of dart jerseys. I think what's interesting about dart jerseys is, to me, it does feel like the equivocal of putting on a uniform. It makes me kind of shift my mindset when I'm wearing one versus when I'm not and playing darts. When I'm not wearing a dart jersey and I'm playing darts, even if I'm wearing a shirt that's comfortable to throw in, I don't feel the same level of committed to the activity as I do otherwise. So I do think there's a mentality shift there.
Yeah, I don't even think that's a placebo effect. That's psychologically significant. So that's a great point you've made. But beyond that, darts jerseys, when you purchase them from American companies, you're putting money into the circulation of the darts
Ooh.
community. So I would say it is more important than ever to not only like fit in with the culture and wear the uniform for all of its practical benefits, you're supporting the darts community by supporting these companies, especially like a Magic Wear, a Dirty Jersey Darts, a Monsta. I mean, there's so many. Anyone can start up an apparel company, but all those companies are run by darts people, right? Like, we live and breathe darts, and there's so much business to go around, which is why like I'm always happy if you have such a specific custom need. Like, we might not be the absolute best fit for you, or the opposite. If you just want like so much selection, you want to go to someone that only has like fixed designs on their site or whatever. But we specialize in custom made to order. So if that's up your alley, come to us. But if you don't have the biggest budget in the world, maybe go to DJD. Like, there's something for everyone. There's a flavor for everyone out there.
You can get the new fruit jersey on Magic Wear, inspired by our podcast.
Yes,
We'll be
Fruit
wearing them
Frenzy
soon.
jersey. Yeah, we ordered them. So we got to wait for them to come in too. Made to order. But there are also even more physical benefits to wearing 100% polyester while you're playing. So for one, they're not going to hold sweat like cotton does. They're moisture wicking. And we all know some of these venues can be hot as hell. And when you're shoulder to shoulder, nuts to butts with a bunch of darts players, it can get a little gritty. You never heard that
don't
term?
like that term.
Yeah, I don't either, but it's
Flows like
paints a
butter,
picture.
Jen. Flows like butter.
Flows like butter. I can't believe you remember that. I thought I got away with that one.
No.
Okay, so moisture wicking. Benefit number 2, 100% polyester is never going to shrink. So you can wash them in hot water, dry them. You can iron them even if you're just careful and quick. There's lots of benefits. It's gonna be the same fit over time. And like Nick is saying, you're gonna look official as hell and you're gonna feel it. And you're gonna feel like you belong and you can beat anyone.
My favorite's like when you go to like a local blind draw and you don't know the people there and you're like, oh, I got the person in a dart jersey and they still suck. Like I do love that though, because like you assume that they're like a certain level of skill. But I love that perspective. I even think about like reinvesting into the community, but not only
Nick,
can you support American like businesses, because there's a lot of them that you listed off there, and many more. But also on top of that, like you can support the players here, right? When you're buying player line jerseys and helping get the exposure for them, even if they're not commission based. Not every player gets commission on jersey sales. Sometimes they usually, actually, in fact, from my understanding, a lot of jersey sponsorships will instead supply them with jerseys to wear, but typically not give them a commission of sales, unlike dart barrels, which sometimes do have commission based benefits. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
Yeah, I think the culture is changing a little bit. There is incentive to buy player jerseys. Like if you're a player out there and you don't get anything for your jersey and there's a decent amount of replicas being sold, yeah, there might be a use case for you to argue like, okay, can I get like a 10% kickback? That would be my suggestion to you. Something like that, or a fixed amount per jersey to make it simple, whatever. But significant meaning like at least, 30, 50 at a time. Like there can't be one or two. It's just not worth setting up the agreement. But another big thing that I think about all the time is like teammate camaraderie. It's so fun to wear matching shirts. It's like my favorite thing in the world.
It is. That's
custom
a big
jerseys for teammates. That's so fun. We just put out Super Mario Bros. We have Ninja Turtles. We have so many fun like eclectic designs too. One-offs. The grungy skull gritty types. I always call it like the Sons of Anarchy look. People love that. If you want some skulls and flames, I'm your girl. Hit us up, Magicwear. No, there's so many cultural and practical benefits. Of course, the hierarchy of performance, maybe clothing really isn't super high up there, but it makes a difference. Like Nick said, feel good, play good.
Jersey's one part. Let's talk some other parts of clothing. I will say, apparel wise, if you are not wearing closed-toed shoes, you are not playing darts correctly. Playing in slides, playing in flip-flops, playing barefoot. Now, practicing barefoot in your house or with socks on your house, I'm not saying I put shoes on 100% of the time I play at home. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about going out. If slides and flip-flops is absolutely something that is not good for your game. Get that out of there. That actually does probably have a negative effect on you. It does affect the consistency of your foot placement. And no matter what, if you're used to playing in that, there's many tournaments that won't let you wear shoes like that.
I would even go so far as to say the same consistent heel shape or like flat shoe if possible, like weightlifting shoes or like Chuck Taylor's, Converse, Keds. Like, I don't know. There's
Walmart,
so many
clearance
shoe brands
aisle,
out there.
whatever's that, Ross,
Hey Dudes.
Goodwill.
Good old Hey Dudes.
Hey Dudes.
I mean, even if slippers are your thing, like if you just wear the same shoe when you're in your bedroom, I make sure I never play barefoot. I don't play in my socks or like in different types of shoes. I have a dart shoe. It lives in this room when I'm throwing darts, and it's what I pack and take to tournaments. So having a consistency there, trying to avoid wearing heels. And this is going to be a hard ask for shorter ladies. I totally get it. Like you just feel you need the help to get the dart to the board. But without a doubt, changing your mechanics, your throwing mechanics will solve that problem over relying on a 5-inch heel. Please work with Alex Spellman to correct that issue if that's something you've been thinking about. You can cut that dart to the board way faster with proper throwing mechanics than dealing with like a 5-inch heel.
Alex Spellman, we expect a little bit of kickback here for anybody that got to Anubis Academy through our podcast. Thank you very much.
Nah, come on.
Nope.
He's working hard. He deserves some
Don't care.
business. He's
Don't care.
he's committed his life to darts.
Good for him.
Nick.
Good
You
for
greedy,
him.
Nick.
Yeah.
Greedy
He
boy.
chose this life. We were forced into it by being so sexy and beautiful. Okay, here's one I actually don't have a problem with at all. And I actually think more and more tournaments need to stop caring about this rule. I'm okay with hats and darts. I don't think I have a problem with backwards, forwards, left, right. I don't think it looks unprofessional particularly. I don't really care about hats. I know the old adage of the chalk line for lineups and stuff like that people used to do under the bills of hats. I think that is such a nothing burger of an issue for so much. I think that hats is totally fine. And the only reason to not wear a hat while you play is just because some tournaments don't allow you to, and some people feel weird when they're not wearing a hat. I think it's fine.
I can see that. I'm trying to think of like sports that allow hats. I don't know if cornhole does.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely
right?
not bowling. Not billiards. Not bowling. I don't know. That's a tough one.
It just seems arbitrary to me. Like, I'm okay with hats. I'm fine with it. I'm gonna argue this, relatively okay with shorts. I'm not saying that I still think that the best players should be wearing like slacks, because you should be expecting to be on camera and on stage and on TV, and you should always dress in a consistent outfit. I dress the same as I would if I was playing in a big stage match. Not that I have. But that being said, I think in general, like shorts is just a comfortable look for a lot of players. I think for the average player, shorts is totally fine to play in. If you're a high level player, you should never play in shorts.
I'm definitely on board with you with the hats. I think almost no one is running around with like a crusty, torn up, terrible looking hat. And again, it fuels the darts industry because almost everyone sells hats we have USA Darts hats and FlexFit, Richardson, trucker hats, Yapun snapbacks.
Not sponsored. We're just selling stuff. Don't mind us.
We got these. I think they fit the look. I think you're right, especially those like fitted, like FlexFit Richardsons. Like they look right with a jersey. The shorts, I think I'm struggling more with because it just feels so weekend barbecue to me.
It is weekend barbecue.
And it's more. But the thing is, though, we have to expect venues can pump out air conditioning and like that the environment is suitable to not have to wear shorts. Some people are like dying in those halls. So I don't know. I guess I don't have super strong feelings. I think I personally would prefer to see people in a pant, a trouser, a pant, a slack. But I know people feel super strongly about the shorts. I don't know. I'll go team pant on that one.
I'm going to rapid fire a couple here that I just think that you should never do. Hoodie/jackets. Never. That's a never for me. There's a handful of exceptions. For every Sean Cafflish in the world that can throw a 5+ and do it, good for you. Majority of people, it does affect how their arm pullback is. It does add an extra layer of clothing on it. I think in general, it's just not a good look. I think in general, you should not throw the hoodie on if you're like actually playing darts, not just casually throwing at the bar. If it's cold in Wisconsin, you're just casually throwing at the bar, live your truth. You're probably not watching this right now. I also think never a watch. I could never wear a watch or a bracelet on stage. Never, on either hand. Either.
Why do you care about the non-throwing hand?
It's an extra thing to think about. It's an extra piece of movement on my body. I like absolutely disdain. I will not wear my watch out ever. In fact, I've taken my watch off while playing darts and then lost like a watch by doing that because I didn't want to put my watch on.
I think that's a hot take from you. I don't know. Like you have Asian culture. Asian culture, they have a bracelet that they intentionally wear on their throwing arm, and they like want to feel it snap up so they know their release impact is intense. So I think that's interesting. I couldn't do it.
Gimmick.
I don't know. Gimmicky. I mean, they're incredible. I'm talking the Asian pros, not casual players. There's a few of them known for
I'm
it.
not saying the pros aren't exceptional, but I'm still saying it's a gimmick for 99.9% of players that would ever try that product.
As a teaching tool, I think it could be useful. like physically feeling the physicality of it. But filming yourself in slow-mo is going to be the most practical thing you could ever do if
Yeah,
you're capable of it.
yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, over the bracelet gimmick. How do you feel
See,
about
gimmick.
compression sleeves?
If you have diagnosed arthritis or tennis elbow of some kind and need it, then yes, right? There are certain people that absolutely need it because their arm physically will feel like it's falling off if they don't have it. I'm okay with those people that have a doctor prescribed condition. I will also say,
Dang, Nick.
what?
It's just a hot take again, I think.
It's not a hot take.
Strong feelings.
I just think that majority of people that wear sleeves are only doing it for aesthetics, and it actually probably isn't good for your dart game. I think that actually compression sleeves typically will hurt the average player more than they ever have a chance to help, unless you have some kind of like arthritis or tennis elbow.
How much have you experimented with them personally?
I've tried them on and off for like a year when I was getting into playing, because I saw a couple players wearing them. I think my dad wore one for a little while as well, and I tried it. And what I realized is that again, it affected how my arm felt drawing back and following through with the dart. When I didn't have one, things felt weird. If in hotter environments, it felt like an extra layer of clothing on my arm that was causing heat. I think anything that is past the normal sleeve length is just very uncomfortable to throw in, and to be able to learn how to get comfortable in that while not having any of the medical benefits of needing compression, I couldn't sell me on it.
I guess it's your point of if the overall goal is to be as good as possible. But I think for the casual player, it genuinely, like to me, I wouldn't say it's a pseudoscience in terms of it will slightly reduce muscle fatigue over long sessions of throwing. So if you're super obsessant like about playing, and I think it's perfectly fine. It's not going to be such a distraction, especially if you're used to throwing with it. It does give you a consistent feel to your throw. Like I'm actually really about it, but I wouldn't choose to use it mostly because of the temperature thing that you mentioned. It does keep your arm warmer, and I don't want that to happen for myself. But what I liked about it is it actually helped me when I was shorting my take back. I had that particular problem, and I knew once I felt tension, I was pulling back far enough. So it was a guide, it was a marker, a reference point in my mind to help me with consistent mechanics. But that might not be the case for everyone. It's obviously not going to correct bad throwing mechanics overnight.
Then you kind of get into it then, right? And you're thinking, okay, well, I could I could have this and it does help correct something. I could see that being a correction that it could do. What happens the moment you don't have it on? Does your dart stroke just start pulling back further or not? Like I'm not saying for you specifically, but for players, they might develop a dependency that they don't need to have. That's why it's, again,
Yeah,
it's like
you're just
if you never drank
anti-dependency
and
of
played
anything.
darts, then don't ever drink and play darts. I think that's one of the best things you can do. If you never taken Adderall and played darts, don't start now. You know, like I think that's kind of where my general consensus always lies with stuff like this. So again, I think out of everything listed, that's one of the most like negligible ones. I'm most okay with sleeves compared to like hoodies or shorts. Even though I kind of defended shorts a little bit. Again, that was more of a casual. Like 99% of the time, it doesn't matter unless you're playing in a competition. As long as but if you're high level, it matters, right? And I do think sleeves have a good level of expression. There is a cool level of expression and accessorizing with it that I think is pretty fun.
Cool
for
designs.
Players.
I never really thought about that being the driving force why people buy compression sleeves, but I can kind of see that. They just want to accessorize that much more.
There's definitely some. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think the big one is earbuds, right? I think earbuds.
Another dependency.
Another one, yeah. I used to be a big don't ever play with earbuds guy. I still believe that there's not as many problems with earbuds as people make it there out to be. But I will also say, with how much remote darts is so prevalent now, with how many remote competitions are where there is not an environment of other people playing around you. In fact, sometimes you might be in the bar as the only dart player playing for thousands of dollars online. Having earbuds to make your own environment is actually becoming a little bit important, I would argue.
Okay, I can get on that train. I think if we're allowing hats, why wouldn't you also allow headphones at that point? as an aesthetic look. It's really not that much more. I think my genuine personal annoyance with it is like people that wear headphones obviously are no longer aware of how loud they are and they'll be singing along to their music and like it's like a little obnoxious. I would almost consider it a little bit of gamesmanship. And in order to communicate with your opponent, say you're getting triple dipped at TOC or something, like I've had a couple times where I'm like, oh my God, like, can you take your earbud out? Like, we need to talk. Like, there was just so many instances like that. Um, and yeah, the volume thing of like they suddenly start screaming.
Yeah, and I agree. I'm not saying people can't be cringe with their headphones.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also to that same point, I would say, okay, if you're playing with partners and I would never put on headphones unless my partner already had headphones in. If
Mm-hmm.
anything, at most one earbud, and that's like I'm really in my head trying to get out of it type scenario, and that's very, very rare. I will still say, of course, best practice is just to never have them because there will be competitions where you can't have them. And that is something that you have to accept if you're going for high level. But I think for the average play, I think playing in remote online tournaments, I think it's actually very important to have them because I can tell you, people, as someone that plays EDC and DRTs pretty actively, the amount of people that come up and try to interact with you, that at least, even if I don't have anything playing, the barrier of having the headphone or the earbud in
Oh,
will
sure.
make people not want to talk to you as much. And that helps a lot. And again,
Yep,
playing in a
yep,
big
yep.
final where everyone else in the bar is doing something else and they think you're just some dude playing a remote game. That part is kind of become like I've kind of gotten sold on it, and I don't have a problem in singles when players play. I'm yes, if people are singing being obnoxious, that's one thing, but majority of the time, I feel like most people are just kind of like in their own world, and as long as they're being conscientious of okay, I need to interact with my opponent because it's the end of a leg or it's a diddle or it's something. That's the only time
Yep.
where like, okay, please be considerate. Be respectful, dart players. The last
Be
7 to 10 years,
respectful.
I've seen a downgrade of respect, and I'm tired of it. Tired of it, guys.
I'm telling you, we're here to fix this for Chrissy. She deserves it. We want to
The
see her
answer,
everywhere.
Jen, does apparel matter in darts? Answer the question. What is the answer?
Yes. Yes, and here's the exact hierarchy of what matters in darts. Your throwing mechanics, your mental game. Wait. Yeah. Confidence, then comfort, then consistency of like all the stuff, composure, everything. That would be my 5.
Okay, I'm also going to say yes, but I'm going to say the biggest 5 things: bitches, money, fame, notoriety.
That's what our server taught us at that steakhouse in Omaha. Nick literally goes, "What's the secret to life?" to our server, a very obviously lesbian woman that he thought was straight. And she goes, "Making money, getting bitches." And I'm like, "See, Nick, the gayest woman on planet Earth. Thank you for that answer."
Oh, and she was right. Those are your secrets to success in darts. In no particular order, those are the 5.
Wait, but then Nick presses her and he goes, "Oh, how do I make money and get bitches? I've not been great at that lately." She goes, "Honestly, me neither, bro."
Yeah.
She just knows it's the secret to life, though.
The
Doesn't
peak
know how
of
to do
Omaha,
it.
Nebraska. And this is like at one of the nicest steakhouses in Omaha. Too.
Yeah.
Shout out Sullivan's.
Best date. That was my favorite moment from the whole weekend, was that date night with you.
That was a really good
Shout
date
out
night.
Sullivan's.
Yeah,
Sullivan's.
shout out for letting us sit in the bar at a place that said no logos on the shirt as I'm wearing a dart jersey with my face on it.
The way the hostess gave us the up and down elevator eyes as we walked in, and I could see her telepathically being like, whatever. And then she sat us at the bar to avoid us going to the dining section.
Totally
so
fine
like,
with
yeah,
us.
Totally fine. Yeah.
We don't deserve main dining room when we're there to split a steak, okay?
Yeah, we literally split a steak.
We're the worst kind of
One
team.
side.
We are non-alcohol steak splitting, okay? No dessert, with no upsells, but God, were we fun. We were an entertaining table with an entertaining server. So, guys, that wraps it up. Episode 2 of Pointed Questions, just about done. Make sure to answer the pointed question of the day about apparel and does it matter in darts. What's your opinion on it? Let us know who won those little draft battles there and the pointed picks. And let us know what you want the pointed question to be on the next episode. We're live every other Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern over on Jen Mount Starts and Nick D Does Things. Jen, it's been another great episode, hasn't it?
I had so much fun. Thanks. Bye.
No crimes committed. Yay! Yay!
No crimes committed. Yay!
Yay!